Christian Horner's legendary run with Red Bull has officially drawn to a close. After 20 years of guiding the team through highs and lows, the British motorsport figure must now turn his attention to what lies ahead. A few names have surfaced as possible destinations, but one team in particular, Alpine, appears to be at the front of the queue. The real question is this the right move, considering where Alpine stands today? And beyond that, what options are realistically on the table for Horner as he steps into life after Red Bull? His resume is beyond impressive: 6 constructors' titles, 8 drivers' championships, and 2 decades of leadership. But Red Bull's internal shakeups and behind-the-scenes turmoil have made his exit inevitable. Technically, he's still employed, but insiders believe it's just a matter of time until he's gone entirely, especially if the right offer comes along. What better way to silence the critics than by joining another team and proving the real problem at Red Bull wasn't him? Now, Alpine is a team in transition. Their biggest struggle? They can't find a consistent second driver to score points. Pierre Gasly, while not a powerhouse, has at least managed to earn 11 points. Meanwhile, both Duhan and Colapinto have failed to score anything. Flavio Briatore stepped in to replace Otmar Szafnauer as team principal, but so far, it hasn't been a winning formula. With controversy still swirling around Briatore, his leadership hasn't delivered much promise. What Alpine really needs now is solid leadership, someone who brings expertise, calm, and a history of success. It's worth remembering that after Sebastian Vettel's last title win in 2013, Red Bull struggled massively with Renault engines. It was Horner's risky decision to switch to Honda that brought the team back into championship-winning form. Regardless of the allegations that ended his stint at Red Bull, no one can deny Horner's abilities. He remains one of the most experienced and successful team bosses in Formula One, and he's suddenly available. That alone makes the situation fascinating. Alpine's leadership structure, though, is far from simple. Briatore may be listed as an advisor, and Steve Nielsen may carry the title of managing director, but it's Briatore who's really running the show. That makes the prospect of adding Horner even more complicated. But here's the twist. Briatore and Horner are close friends, dating back to the mid-2000s. If Alpine brings Horner on board, it wouldn't push Briatore out. It could actually create a dynamic duo aimed at rebuilding Alpine from the ground up. However, there's another wrinkle. Pierre Gasly's history with Horner isn't exactly rosy. Horner dropped him from Red Bull after just 13 races in 2019. Even after a string of excellent performances at AlphaTauri, Gasly never got a second chance alongside Verstappen. You can bet Alpine will speak to Gasly before they move forward with Horner. Still, if Horner joins, it could shake things up in a major way. Sure, it's hard to imagine someone who led Red Bull for 2 decades walking into Alpine, but stranger things have happened. Look at Jonathan Wheatley, once a key figure at Red Bull. He's now leading Stake F1. In his first season, he helped Hülkenberg claim his first ever podium after 239 races. Stake F1 is now 6th in the constructor standings. Clearly, bold leaders can thrive in new environments, and Horner fits that mold. But will teams be willing to take that leap, considering the off-track scandal that surrounded his exit? That brings us to Ferrari, rumored to be interested in Horner, now seemingly hesitant. Ferrari is crying out for a commanding leader. They need someone tough, honest, and willing to take the heat. Unfortunately, Fred Vasseur hasn't lived up to those expectations. While Ferrari has improved slightly under his watch, it's hardly the revolution fans hope for. The potential in the car is still being talked about more than actual results, and Leclerc and Hamilton want to see progress now, not later. The most realistic outcome is Vasseur staying through 2026, long enough to see whether the team's adaptation to the new regulations pays off. But if Ferrari fails to deliver, and Horner is still on the market, however, unlikely then the door could reopen. Let's not forget, Ferrari dreams of returning to the dominance they had under Jean Todt and Michael Schumacher. They'd love a leader who could bring sharp strategies, intense focus, and flawless execution. Horner could be that person, but the baggage from Red Bull complicates things. To make matters worse for Horner's Ferrari hopes, sources say the Scuderia is already negotiating to extend Vasseur's stay. While nothing is confirmed, the controversy surrounding Horner's alleged misconduct, despite being cleared, casts a long shadow. Ferrari seems unwilling to take on that risk. Once, Horner even joked that his Italian was worse than Briatore's English, downplaying earlier Ferrari rumors. Today, however, the Italian press reports that Ferrari's interest in Horner has dropped to nearly zero. There's also the matter of Horner's gardening leave, which runs until the end of the 2025 season. This means any job he accepts won't start until January 2026. That gives his future team a free pass. If the 2026 car struggles, he won't be responsible for it. So besides Alpine and Ferrari, are there any other possibilities for Horner's return? One wildcard is Aston Martin. Billionaire Lawrence Stroll has a reputation for going after top talent, and it wouldn't be surprising if he made a move for Horner. But there's a serious obstacle: Adrian Newey. The legendary designer recently joined Aston Martin, having left Red Bull over internal conflicts that many say were sparked by Horner. Reuniting them? That's a stretch. And what about a completely different path like FIA president? While Horner certainly has the experience, the controversy has left a mark on his career that might make such a political position impossible, at least for now. In short, Horner has a tough road ahead. Finding a new role in F1 won't be easy, not after the messy way things ended at Red Bull. But what do you think? Is Alpine the right destination for Christian Horner? Can he be the one to lead the STUNS squad back to relevance? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And once you do, don't forget to check out the video that's now showing on your screen. You won't want to miss what's coming next.